thanks to the supporters of channel member Ole Gunnar Kvam.
Oh my word, I've had the injury crisis of all injury crises. Couldn't find the left winger I've been looking for, but have signed an elite defensive midfielder, which I do think is another area we probably did need a little bit of backup. You know, if Rice or Zubimendi get injured, who's next? So it kind of makes sense, but we have already veered wildly off the plan. And now we've got to go away from home against Manchester United and Liverpool to start the season off. And starting things off with that injury crisis, and look at the state of this. So obviously we still have Jesus injured. Havertz is still injured. They're both long-term. They're going to be out for up to 4 months. But we've now lost Martinelli. He was out for a month originally. Norgard is out for 2 months, which is one of the reasons we had to look for another defensive midfielder. We've lost Raya for the first couple of months of the season. So Kepa is going to be in goal for us. Ben White is going to be out for the first month of the season. Odegaard's going to miss the first few weeks of the season. It is all a long way from ideal, certainly as far as fitness and injuries go. Where it is a little bit closer to ideal is in the transfers that we've been able to do, because we've been able to sign ourselves a genuine world superstar. I just can't remember where you find him in the new UI. Transfer history is what we're looking for. There you go. We have signed for £60 million, which I think is quite the bargain, actually. Aurelien Tchouameni from Real Madrid, only 25 years old. French international defensive midfielder who can also play at centre-back and central midfield. But we've brought him very much to compete with Rice and Zubimendi in that defensive midfield area where we're going to have our little double pivot going on. We obviously have Norgard, who's come in, but probably isn't really good enough at 2.5 stars and 30-something years old. He's realistically never going to play for me. Marino was kind of the only backup, I guess, Marino and Lewis Skelly. Even if Norgard hadn't have got injured, I probably would have been looking to sell him at the earliest opportunity, but with him injured, we were basically down to 3 midfielders plus Lewis Skelly, so we needed another one in. Probably more than we needed a left winger, because we have got Martinelli, Trossard, Madueke, Eze. Jesus will be fit again soon. Ranieri can play out there. So, I mean, there is probably more strength in depth. There's probably an argument we needed a defensive midfielder and a striker more than we needed the left winger. We don't have the striker. Martinelli and Trossard are going to have to be, I guess Trossard is my only backup. I mean, can Mikel Merino play there? Mikel Merino can sort of play there. So we might end up actually playing Mikel Merino at centre forward, which then is another reason for bringing in Tchouameni to be another option for us in central midfield. So I think it all makes sense. We are still very much going to be trying to replicate the Arsenal way of playing. So we are away against Manchester United on the first day of the season, just like Arsenal were in real life. And this is our 11. So we are going with Kepa in goal because of the injury to Raya. A back four of Lewis Skelly, Gabriel, Saliba and Timber, Tchouameni and Rice in midfield, Trossard on the left, Saka on the right, and then Eze in behind Gyökeres. And if you didn't see episode 1, the basic idea of what we're going to be looking to do, we're playing a vertical tiki-taka where in possession, we want it to be a fairly basic 4-2-3-1. We want Lewis Skelly making a 3 in midfield with Rice and Tchouameni, although Rice will be bombing on as a box-to-box midfielder. Timber is going to give us our width on the right. Trossard gives us the width on the left. And then we have Eze and Rice effectively behind Gyökeres with Saka tucking in as well as an inverted winger. And then when we've not got the ball, Eze will be pressing the back four of the opposition along with Gyökeres, and everyone else drops back into basically a normal 4-4-2 kind of shape. I have no idea if it's going to work. I have not tested it at all. Pre-season friendlies were all left to the assistant manager. Where do they live in the new UI? There they are. So we've done, it's been very mixed. The fact that we lost to Powok is not ideal, is it? It'll be fine. Let's go face Manchester United and see how we get on. By the way, we can barely fill a bench. Everyone who is available is on the bench. Everyone not on the bench is not even available to take part in the match. So that is how bad our injury crisis is. But we are submitting our teams. If you haven't seen any of the alpha content, then you won't have seen the very cool Premier League graphics that we now have. I did mention in my alpha video that I'm not going to make a habit of showing them all the time, but I think we probably need to look at them just this once because they are very, very pretty. As you can see, look at it. People have been critical of the stadiums. I just don't care that it doesn't actually look like Old Trafford. We were never told they had licensed stadiums. I wasn't expecting it to look like Old Trafford. I just wanted it to look better than the stadiums that we had in FM24. And anyone who tries to suggest that these stadiums are not better than what we had in FM24, I can only assume that person does not have any eyeballs. But there you go. That's all the lovely Premier League graphics stuff. And we are underway. Has it carried my settings over from the alpha? It looks like it has. So that's what we're playing on, 1.75% match speed. We don't have a 1.5, which is a little bit annoying. We tried it on stream last night. 1.25 is a little bit too slow. 1.75 is a little bit too fast, but I'd rather it was a little bit too fast than a little bit too slow. And then we're 40 times for the in-between highlights bits, which kind of makes the 2D thing that we've got on screen there a little bit pointless because it's moving so fast. There isn't a way to turn that off. We'll get over it. I'm sure we'll be fine. And while we are enjoying our first few... Oh, hold on. Corner. We should probably focus on our first corner. This is me at Arsenal. This should be a recipe for destruction. And we do score from our first corner through Leandro Trossard. It's 1-0 to the Arsenal. Set piece again. Ole, 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 etc., etc. I mean, it wasn't the stereotypical FM24 corner goal, but it was. I think that still gets recorded as a set piece goal, and I am delighted with it. It's what I'm here to do. But what I was trying to say before we rudely interrupted me by scoring a football goal is I am working on the assumption, I'm recording this video late at night when the beta released. I'm working on the assumption that you've seen this either late that night or early the following morning, because at the time of recording, likes on the first video are going bananas. So I guess we hit 5,000 likes and you're watching it early. If it is 4 o'clock on Friday when this has come out, I'm very disappointed in you. You usually do better than that, but I think you've probably seen it early. So on that basis, thank you very much for the support on our first Football Manager Let's Play video of FM26, our first Football Manager Let's Play video in 3 or 4 months, and the first of many that we're going to be doing during FM26. Thank you very much. And if we could leave a like on this video as well, why not get to 5,000 likes 2 videos in a row? It certainly helps to support the channel and helps us to celebrate the fact that we've just scored our second goal. I may have been slightly negative towards Trossard in the first episode. When it turns out he's scored one, made one in the first 15 minutes of our first game here. There's Lewis Skelly, exactly where I wanted him to be in this system, getting into the midfield three. Trossard is giving us the width, dancing around like the greatest winger in the history of world football and having a very lovely time. We've got another corner. It's Saka to take. He's gone short to Eze, who did score our second goal. And unfortunately, United are able to break clear. But look at that. Saka took the corner and then got back to win the ball back, charging forward. There's Rice as our box-to-box midfielder. By the way, I have made Rice club captain. Odegaard getting injured made it much easier to take the captaincy off him. It's a little bit harsh, but I'm of a view that Rice is eventually going to become Arsenal captain anyway, and we're just rushing the process through a little bit. He's obviously a born leader, should be captain, is captain. Saka is still our vice captain, and Odegaard, at the moment, as much as I like him, I don't know that he necessarily fits into our first 11. Obviously, we are going to be playing a lot of football. We're in the Champions League. There's a lot of matches to be played. We want to go deep in the Champions League, deep in the Cups. So it's a nice problem to have incredible strength in depth. But Odegaard's not going to get in as part of that double pivot. He's not going to get in out wide or up front. So really, he's competing with Eze and Nwaneri for that attacking midfield position. And Eze's obviously had a good start. He's scored in this game. He looks lively. And Nwaneri is our big bright hope as a wonder kid. So there is the possibility that Odegaard, because of this injury, if Eze starts really well, Odegaard could become a bit of a forgotten man, especially if Nwaneri looks good when he gets his inevitable opportunities. Right, this is our first Declan Rice corner. It's an in-swinger. We're not able to make anything of it. And we're not quite I think corners aren't quite as overpowered as they maybe have been previously. That's my initial knee-jerk reaction. I've not seen a load of matches. Obviously, I did have access to the alpha, but I didn't play a whole load of matches on it. I didn't put loads and loads of hours in because I figured it would be better from a content perspective to kind of learn the game together through the videos, through the streams, rather than me coming in as an expert with hundreds of hours under my belt and kind of dancing around the screens and you not being able to keep up and follow. I think it's probably more beneficial. Certainly it's more what I would want to see as content. It's more beneficial for me to not quite know where something is and for us to have to go and find it. So that's the thinking. It wasn't laziness. It was inspired by content. Honest. I don't even know what led me into that bit, but it's all with good reason. We're dominating this, by the way, 2-0 up. The one downside at the moment from this performance is we've not really seen anything from Gyökeres. So that's not ideal, especially when we don't have another striker option. We would obviously be looking for a little bit more from him, but I mean, that's another very good team goal. Timber is our width on this side. When we attack, Timber pushes. You can see the amount of space he's in, the width he's giving us. Saka's come inside. Timber's overlapped him. It's exactly what we wanted to happen as part of this tactic. And Timber with a very nice finish to make it 3-0. And I mean, we have started this season really very well. We've got the Leeds game coming up next, which I'm going to play off camera. Might even test out the new instant result button. And then we've got Liverpool away, which is probably going to be a sterner test than this Manchester United match has been. I do probably need to be starting to think in terms of what we've got down on the bench, because we can't risk picking up any more injuries. We've already got youngsters on the bench. We are quite stretched squad wise, and we're 3-0 up, and we've got that big Liverpool match coming up very, very soon. So we don't want to leave it too much longer before we start taking off anyone who's developing tired legs. I mean, Trossard, Lewis Skelly, Tchouaméni. I think we probably take all three of them off now. They all look like they're tiring a little bit. We've got natural replacements for, in fact, have we? Yeah, Madueke can come on. I was thinking we haven't actually got the natural replacements because we don't have Martinelli, but the squad has depth, doesn't it? Madueke can come on and play on that left-hand side. Zubimendi for Tchouaméni is easy. And who is the other one I said? Lewis Skelly. We've got Calafiori, haven't we? Yeah, Calafiori for Lewis Skelly. All very straightforward substitutions to make in the circumstances, and just making sure that we keep players fit. With Trossard having gone off as well, that means if we were to want to take Gyökeres off, the only option now is to stick Merino up front, who I think is down on the bench. I don't think he's one of the ones who's injured. Yeah, Merino is available to go on and play up front if need be. But I would like to leave Gyökeres on in a game that we're dominating, in the hope that he can grab himself a goal and start getting settled into life in an Arsenal shirt a little bit sooner rather than later. That would be the ideal. Right, with 15 minutes to go, I think we'll take off. We're going to take off Saka if we've got anyone who can come on for him. Well, Wanyeri can come on for Saka. That's easy. We can do that. And for my final trick, you know what? I am going to bring Merino on for Gyökeres, not because I am remembering what I just said, but we have no backup striker, really, certainly with Martinelli injured. So I'm assuming players learn new positions based on playing there the way they did in FM24. So if we want Merino to be an option for us to play up front, we need to play him up front when we get the opportunity. So he's got 15 minutes here to play as a centre forward, and we'll make sure that we've got him training to play there as well, which I'll try and figure out how to do after this match. I've not really looked at the training panel at all yet in the new game, but I assume you can still train players to play in new positions, but it certainly won't hurt playing him there as well. And it's obviously a position he can already do. We did look at his little position map and he can play centre forward. He's just not particularly accomplished there. So we'll get him training to play there and give him game time in matches like this when we're well ahead. Don't worry about stuff like this. There will occasionally be moments where the game is a little bit laggy. It is a beta. The whole purpose of the beta is for the bugs to be identified and fixed. So fingers crossed, little laggy moments like what we just saw there will be fixed by the time we get to new release. It's the reason we don't start long-term save like Non-League to Legend during the beta, because we want to make sure that if there are any game-breaking bugs, which touch wood, we've not found anything game-breaking yet, just a little lagginess here and there. But if there was anything game-breaking, we'd obviously want that to be eliminated before starting the big main save that is going to take the first several months of life in FM26 for us. Eza has had a very good debut here. Calafiori charging down the middle, obviously coming on for Lewis Skelly, playing as that playmaking wing back and getting involved and getting central and charging forward and making the chance. Madueke then slides it across to Eza, and that's his second of the game. So he's enjoying playing as that number 10 second striker role, and that is a pretty dominant way for me to start life as manager of Arsenal. We're not even top of the league though. We're below Spurs somehow. After a performance like that, we're somehow below Spurs. Right, before I hit continue, I do just want to find training and check that we can sort Marino out. So if we're going to individual training and Marino, oh, no, we've gone too far. So back to individual training. Where is he? I've lost him again. Mikel, there he is, Marino, and oh, is he already training to play there? Is that what that means? I think he's already training to play as a centre forward. I think. Yeah, we're going to leave him to it. I think he's already doing the role, which is super duper. That's exactly what we want him to be doing. Right, I will meet you at Anfield for the Liverpool match. Right, I'm not going to make a habit of showing this, but I do just want to show you that the instant result button works, or how the instant result button works. So we've got the Leeds game, we've got our team selected. We can hit the in-game instant result button. You can use a match plan if you want. I don't use match plans. What do you think this is? But we can just hit to simulate the match, and fingers crossed, we win it comfortably. There you go. A 4-0 win, and we've missed a Victor Gyökeres hat-trick, including 2 penalties, and Eza scored again. So he is very much enjoying that role alongside Gyökeres. But that will do. Hopefully he does that in the match engine against Liverpool in the match coming up now. Oh, by the way, transfer-wise, we've got no money left. We just keep renewing contracts. So I don't know that we're going to be signing Nuno Mendes or Eder Militao, who are coming up on my scout recommendations, unless we can sell somebody. I'm not against potentially selling either Trossard or Martinelli, or Marino, to be honest. But I'm not rushing anybody out the door. So I suspect we might be done with just the one incoming transfer in this first window. Maybe. I've got a week left. We'll see. Well, we've added another name to our ever-growing injury list, that name being Miles Lewis-Skelly, who should only miss this game. He's only out for a couple of days, but Calafiori can come in for him. I am still very much enjoying the sensational strength in depth we've got here at Arsenal. So this is the team for Liverpool. Kepa in goal, a back four of Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba and Timber, Tchouaméni and Rice in midfield, Trossard on the left, Saka on the right, Eza behind Gyökeres up front. We've got Gyökeres off the back of a hat-trick. Eza's got 3 goals this season already. Trossard has a goal and an assist, 2 assists for Saka. That front four is going to take some moving on from this team. They've all started incredibly well. Let's see if they can continue to do their thing in this match. As you can see, we are now at the point where we can't actually fill a bench with first-team players. I could have called up a young player. What's the point? And on the topic of young players, I'm sure people will ask, no Max Dowman in the database. As a 15-year-old, he is too young to be a character in a computer game. So we're going to have to wait for his IRL 16th birthday and hope that he gets added as part of a patch around there. Does anyone know when he is 16? Will he be 16 in time for a January data update? And at that point, he can be added to the game. But yeah, he's too young to be in the game. Although there have been examples in the past of players being added young with parental permission. Martin Odegaard being an example of that previously. So I don't know if they just were a bit busy and didn't get the parental permission, or if it was maybe declined, but who cares, because Bukayo Saka has just scored against Liverpool, plays it across to Trossard. I mentioned this front four doing wonderful things. There's Rice, who's bursting forward from that defensive midfield position, but with the box-to-box midfielder instruction, which when in possession effectively turns him into an attacking midfielder. And you saw him charging late into the box there, completely unmarked, was able to pick out Saka, and we are 1-0 up 2 minutes into this away game against Liverpool, and we can expand this and have a look at the league table on there to see just how beautiful that league table is looking as it stands right now. 15 minutes into this game against Liverpool, we would be the only team in the league with a 100% start to the season after 3 matches, which would be absolutely delightful and would obviously make me a better manager than Mikel Arteta, who in real life came here and lost to Liverpool. So, you know, and I'm not relying on set pieces the way he does. Of course, also slightly differently to real life, we are facing a Liverpool team that already has Alexander Isak, because all the transfers obviously went through before the game started, rather than in reality he turned up on deadline day, if I recall. Although based on how he's playing in real life, maybe that's a disadvantage for Liverpool. Who am I to say? Trossard, once again, looking like a very, very, very good left winger, very much punishing me for harsh words against him in the first episode. And I have been trying to get the boys to do a long throw. That didn't look much like a long throw. But I have got them set up. This is beautiful football. I have got them set up to play long throws from situations like that. But I think the problem I've got is I don't have anyone who's actually capable of delivering one, as we saw there. It remains 1-0 though, as we hit the halfway point of the first half. And we're on the attack through Trossard again, who once again, he's getting all kinds of space down this left-hand side. I wonder if maybe the AI managers have a similar tendency to what we sometimes saw in FM24, where the AI managers love an inverted fullback and an inverted wingback. They love inverting those wide defenders. And it might be a key to attacking success in FM26 early on to get some width in your attack. Also key to try not to let Alexander Isak get the football in areas like that. It's a lovely ball over the top from Wirtz to Isak. This is what Liverpool dreamt about when they spent £250 million on those two combined. That's the kind of moment they were anticipating getting. Hasn't really been delivered in real life yet. But here I am serving it up to you on a plate in Football Manager. 1-1. And I mean, we'd be okay with a 1-1 here. We could live with that. We'd still be top of the league. We'd be level on points with Liverpool, Forest and West Ham. Forest and West Ham loving this universe, by the way, compared to how they've started the season in real life. And can we have another goal, please? How long have we got? We're just about to hit half time. I think there is a little bit of a tendency to do a lot of end of the half highlights. So we might be witnessing nothing really happen here, or we might be conceding another goal. Okay, fantastic. I don't really have a game plan for this because we've not been behind in a match yet. We've not had to test our lovely tactic against good opposition that have taken the lead against us. Wirtz involved massively again. I mean, so involved, he actually scored the goal. It was the ball over the top from Salah, I think. And Wirtz has a goal and an assist. I wish we were facing real life Wirtz rather than in-game Wirtz. I don't like him at all. But 2-1 at halftime to Liverpool, which does flip my excellent scenario on its head and means that Liverpool would be the only team with the 100% start to the season. And I'd just be the same as Arteta. Am I the same as Arteta? It's corner o'clock. Saliba can't make contact with it. What's that all about? And it's come loose to Trossard. Gyökeres seems to have gone missing again. Interesting that he was completely absent in the game against Manchester United, gets a hat-trick against Leeds, and we've not really noticed him in this match again. Is he dodging big matches? That wouldn't be like him, would it? Liverpool on the attack again, and they are dangerous going forward. I think what they've got in game is they've figured out how to make this front four work, which they haven't obviously figured out in real life. Now they're doing set pieces. Oh, I actually thought, I was a little bit worried after those first 2 wins where we scored 4 goals in both matches. I was a little bit concerned that my comments were going to be full of, oh, FM26 is too easy. Well, you're welcome, Sports Interactive. I've thrown this one deliberately for you to make your game look challenging. I hope you're happy. That's the only explanation. Oh, goodness me. Right, Calafiori bursting, or trying to burst clear, but he didn't have anyone up supporting him, so he's actually done quite well to hold the ball up. And now Rice hits it fairly aimlessly forward, aiming at the wrong guy. I mean, we've got Gyökeres right there, who's literally on a target man instruction, and instead we're playing it in the air to Saka, who, of course, is just getting swatted out of the sky by, I think it was Van Dijk who got him in that situation, but he's not going to beat any of these Liverpool defenders in the air. So why are we playing it to him in the air? If you're going to play a ball in the air, at least give it to Gyökeres, and Wirtz is absolutely destroying us. Can I ask Tchouaméni? We've spent a lot of money on him, yet Rice is coming over from the other side to try and track Wirtz. And Tchouaméni, who's supposed to be there shielding our defence, he's not had a great game, has he? Well, at 4-1 down with half, it's a bit late to try and get back into the game, really. They've just absolutely smashed us here. I mean, we can have a look, but we don't have much in the way of options off the bench. I am going to bring on Zubimendi for Tchouaméni because Tchouaméni has not played well. It would be nice to bring someone on for Gyökeres, but what do? Stick Trossard up front? Doesn't scream attacking change, does it? There's no point throwing an extra man forward because we're not going to score 3 times to even rescue a draw. So we may as well just see the game out and try not to get absolutely battered. We might just make that one change for now. Or do we even be like, yeah, let's just bring Madueke on for Saka and not risk an injury to Saka when we've already lost the game? We might as well protect him, give Madueke an opportunity to get 25 minutes, half an hour under his belt, and Zubimendi has the opportunity to show me that he should be starting as that screening midfielder, because Tchouaméni did not screen us at all. He didn't do what some members of the squad, particularly Tchouaméni and Eza, I didn't see what the rest of that said. They weren't happy with what's going on. Oh my word, we are getting absolutely battered. I thought I'd somehow cracked FM26 tactics first go. When we won those first 2 matches so comfortably. It turns out we were just playing against rubbish opposition. It does put into context how well I did in my Alpha video when I managed Manchester United and nearly got a draw against Arsenal. I actually did really well. Right, Calafiori is tired. We don't have... Oh, we've got Hincapie. We can bring him on. The strength in depth is bananas. Right, Trossard can come off for Winieri and Madueke can we swap them? Okay, we can't. I guess we'll leave them that way round. FM bug report. And, I mean, we may as well give Marino another run out up front. There's no harm, is there? We're not getting back into them. Wirtz has scored 2, he's on a 10 out of 10. We've made Florian Wirtz, we've made Premier League Wirtz look like Bundesliga Wirtz, and I don't care for it. Right, Eza's got so much space here. I don't know what Liverpool were doing, but I also don't know how we've managed to miss the chance. Because that was on a plate. Everything was going so well 3 minutes in. We should have just blown the whistle there. I think we're very much missing Raya. I don't know how much longer Raya is going to be unavailable for, but Kepa is not selling himself to me as a Premier League goalkeeper with this performance. Right, Winieri is in. Marino is there. It's been disallowed for offside. But, I mean, it's encouraging to see that he can finish. It might even be given yet. No, it won't be given. I wonder if VAR will ever actually change anything in 26. Who knows? I don't like what's happened here. Especially because he's done it directly against Tchouaméni, who was signed specifically to stop things like that happening to us. Right, let's have a consolation goal. We've got 25 seconds left. Is this going to be one of those highlights at the end of the half? Or are we actually going to do a goal? Madueke's done really well there. That's a very good goal. So that's a bright point. Madueke looked good. He's come off the bench. He's grabbed a goal. Leave it out, VAR. Come on. Let us have a little bit of something. We've still been absolutely smashed. 5-2. It's not ideal. But we're not going to be away against Liverpool every week, are we? And we did well against the other two teams. We've got Manchester City coming up fairly soon. So I guess that's going to be the next episode, which should be later on today. 4 o'clock today will be the next episode, assuming this one did come out in the morning, which I think it probably did. But yeah, I think we probably show you. I thought we had Man City soon. Maybe we don't. So the Man City game has been moved because in real life, Arsenal have played Man City. We've got Liverpool in the Champions League. What I might do then is show you Newcastle away, and then we'll have another go at Liverpool in the Champions League. And then the one after, we can maybe do Man City and a Champions League game. That seems like a plan. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Where did that all go wrong? What can I sort out tactically to stop that happening to me when we play Liverpool again in the next episode? And if you did enjoy that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily, it's nice to be able to say this again, daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.